people of other races sailed their way into these shores and made home right here. We have the people who are now residents in Wangandadi in Levuka, Kasavu in Sabu-Sabu, Reketi in Bua, just to name a few places where there are still traces of our early settlers and their once upon a time dream of a better life finally realized right here in the Fiji Islands. The end of the indentured laborer era brought a choice: a paid return trip to India or settlement here in Fiji. Those that made a choice to stay chose so because they, like the early settlers, dreamt of a better life in these converted islands, where the Wesleyan songs are sung on a casual beach walk with as much vigor and tone as that which is sung on a Sunday morning. Fiji was a land of opportunity. It was a land of security. It was a land of harmonious coexistence. People understood each other and had respect for each other's culture. The sons and daughters of the early Girmitis understood that their security is eternally tied to the stability of the Fijian people, to those things that they consider to be sacrosanct: their faith, their system of government through their chiefs, and their land. They understood that. The Fijians accepted and recognized the dedication and the sacrifice, the hard work and the toil of the early 60,000 who came to work in the CSR farms, who lived in horrendous conditions and paid less than slavery pay, so that through their commitment, Fiji today is a better place and a more economically stable nation in the entire Pacific. Through to independence in 1970, our young democracy fought through tides of different opinions to hang parliament, fought through organized marches and strike, fought through teething problems of an early nationhood, and still able to measure up to development patterns in Singapore and in Malaysia prior to 1987. Since the 14th of May 1987, we have never returned or experienced the buoyancy of that era of the past. Never have we scored more than the US dollar in exchange rate. Never have we come close to 25% investment level. Never have we come any closer to reaching economic growth level that is consistent enough to put people to stable work with better pay, affordable cost of living, and better race relation. This election is not just about returning Fiji to economic growth. It is not just about finding new era of job industries or lessening the cost of living. This election is about rediscovering the ideals that had worked in the past and which will work in the future. It is calling for a generation to lift itself from the state of decay of statesmanship to a place of prominence and generational capacity. People of Fiji, we are not a poor country. We have wealth and supply. We have compassion and hope. We have wealth of oil and gas and natural minerals beneath our feet and our shores and the hearts of people that will make this country work. We are deficient and lack in leadership. That is our problem. We are not asking you today to vote for us because we will bring you more free programs in the next 4 years. In the age where internet speed catches and throws this speech right now to the corners of the earth, to the UK and to the United States, as I speak here today, the President of the United States says it quite rightly. when he said, sometimes truths gets buried in an avalanche of money and advertising. You will not elect us based on who has a lot more money and who paid more advertisement. I urge you to elect your candidate from these 12 strongmen and women, because they will tell you the truth of what is going to happen in Parliament in the next 4 years. That's why we're asking you to go to vote next Wednesday. Know this, Fiji, we will resolve our economic problems. We will resolve our unemployment issues. We will solve our housing problems. And we will rise to meet the demand of the Pacific and beyond in terms of food security. Our soldiers will be better equipped to meet the challenges of global terrorism, and we will resolve our race relation issues with wisdom, maturity, and great understanding. We will do all that as a nation. We will do all that when we resolve as a nation to live by ideals and convictions, not by calculations. And leaders lead by character and values, and not simply by the polls. We will rebuild this nation's proverbial walls when people of all races respect the other with dignity, and yet we can still come together around a set of common goals for our multiracial communities that breeds a sense of common humanity and advances our common security. We will not only attract investment or attract investors into our shores, but we will be better placed to advance government-backed, business-empowered programs with proper analytical and scoping mechanism, together with advice of how to make micro-businesses work in the outer and the rural areas in a real and tangible way in the next 4 years. We will bring new tourism industry lines in ecotourism, health tourism, sports tourism, and propose to do feasibility in Fiji becoming a retirement village destination for the world. A business that will not only bring foreign dollar to our Fijian economy, but also provide employment to our villages in our beautiful coastlines of Western Vitilevu and in the hidden paradise of Fiji in Vosarogo. We will inculcate discipline in our youths and in a sense of nationality like never before in the history of this nation, because this party is one party that believes that you are only as successful as the generation that you produce. We take you seriously, young people. We do. We take you seriously. The formation of a youth parliament and the proposed gap year period of national youth programs are designed to inculcate depth and understanding of how things ought to be done when leadership comes at your door.